Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Mike Young, lifestyle nutritionist with aPlantBasedDiet.org. Another chapter of my book, my V book, Live to 150. You can find everything at liveto150.org. That's where you go straight to the playlist on YouTube that has every chapter of this book, and they're all going to be numbered. Even if they aren't right now, I'm going to do it soon. This is the fourth chapter of when I'm recording here, coming back from sabbatical. So it's the fourth of the first videos here in 2012, because all the videos, all the chapters before that were in 2021. Did I say 2012? 2022. That's where we are. My gosh, it's back 10 years. That was another world back. I wasn't even plant-based then. I've been on sabbatical of plant-based events. This video is going to be talking about the importance of proper goal setting. Okay. And after I finish this and you listen to and watch this chapter, you will be ready for all the detailed information that follows, because we have lots to challenge you, lots of things that you're going to have to do, and you're going to have the right way to set attainable goals in order to make any progress in the chapters that follow this book. So let's talk about that. First, let me say I'm a lifestyle nutritionist. We talk about what to eat. We talk about habits. We don't practice medicine. Go see your doctor if you need to. The disclaimer is all down below. So habits, since we're mainly talking about habits, not only the habits of what you're putting in your mouth, what you're eating, what you're doing during the day, you need some framework on proper goal setting and ways to attain and obtain successful goal completion. All right. So here's how you do it. It's really not that complicated. I actually had a in-person networking group back in 2014, which seems like forever and a day ago. And I taught this to the in-person networking class. I just didn't even want to do an in-person networking class, really. And if you were in my class, yeah, well, sorry you're hearing this now, but I was all online. I was on Facebook. I had local community groups and stuff. And I figured, well, this is the next best thing. And I realized that people, when I got there, they really didn't understand how to obtain goals. Nobody really teaches you this stuff. And if you're going to live to 150, you're going to have so many things that you're going to have to do, that setting a goal and obtaining it and the process of successfully doing that over and over again is going to have to be mastered right in the beginning. Because if it doesn't, you're going to be struggling and you're going to be hating life, and you're not ever going to be doing any of the stuff we're talking about in the book, and you're going to be sick all the time. So there's a lot at stake here. A vegan steak. You have to know how to do this. So what is the technique? Well, it's really quite simple. This video is not going to be that long. Here's how you do it. First of all, you've got to have, I'd say, 4 categories of goals: 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, and lifetime goals. A lifetime, is 150. That's a long way off. But notice those numbers is 1, 5, and 0 repeat in those time frames: 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, and lifetime, which is 150. They're all related. It all makes sense now, doesn't it? Okay, you've got to write this stuff down. Now, when I say write, I don't care about paper and pencil. I don't care how you do it. But what I do know is that in everyone's life, even if they're paperless, all right, you've got some type of printed material or art or something hanging on the walls or in front of you on a daily and regular basis. And if that stuff doesn't include your goals, especially if you have trouble achieving goals, you are never going to achieve them. Okay, so you've got to develop a system where this is in front of you. Now, I've got my mobile phone here, and on it, I got notes. You see, here's my chapters of the book right there. I've got notes. I've got my goals in here. You've got to get somewhere you're going to look at. Now, if you're having trouble, if you're starting off, you're like, I'm never going to be able to do this. Because I'm going to have hundreds of chapters in this book. You're going to be, I'm not going to be able to watch hundreds of, I'm not going to be able to, do 5 of the first 10 chapters you're talking about. Yes, you are. You can, and you easily can. You just need a system. It's all about the systems that you put in place so that you can hopefully achieve your goals. So if you're struggling with this, let me talk about you all first. Now, first of all, you got to have a brainstorming session. You've got to put at least 5 to 10 goals in those 4 categories: 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, and lifetime. At least 5 to 10 goals. You can write them on a sheet of paper. You can put them in a note on your phone. You can put them in Google Docs or whatever you're using. And I want you to print them out. If you're struggling, I want you to print them out. I want you to handwrite them. I don't care what you do, but it has to be something like a picture of your family on the wall, or some sign, no smoking sign where you go, where you're going to notice it and you're going to see it all the time. That's what it has to be, because if you are not that committed to attaining these goals or obtaining them, either one, you're not going to get there. And especially if you're struggling, you have to have this right in front of your face. Like, I'm always looking at my notes. Okay, I know I'm kind of weird. I'm always adding stuff to my notes. I'm always looking at my notes. So I don't need to do that so much. Although I could still do better. Everyone can always do better. But if you're starting out struggling, this is what you need to do. This is the minimum requirement I'm giving you. Get it printed out. Let's say you went online and you're using Google Docs or something else. Write down your 5 to 10 in each category. 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, lifetime. Make it fit on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Print it out. And I did this for people in my networking group. And then I had frames, because they had to pay me a membership. I brought in frames and I said, bring in your documents. We're going to put them in a frame, like a wood frame with glass, and it frames that document. It's like you have a frame picture or a frame sign that says no smoking or something that's important to you, right? This is another thing that's important to you. And you need to hang it in we had 2 copies, not just one, but 2 copies. You need 1 copy next to your bed, because you go there every single day and you wake up, you see it twice a day. At the minimum, you're going to see it twice a day at your bed. And then you need to have it where you work. And back in 2014, it was always somewhere else, right? You always got to work. You went somewhere else. There was some work from home, but not like it is today. Everybody can work from home now, just about. But either way, let's say your desk is 10 feet from your bed. There'll be another one right over your desk, like square, right in the middle. Like the most important thing, because these are your goals, right? The most important thing. And I don't care what you write down for 1, 5, 10 year and lifetime, but you need to write something down. You need to brainstorm, and you need to put it in this format where you're going to have it straight in front of you at your place of work. So you're seeing it all day long when you're working, and you're seeing it at your bed twice a day at minimum, when you wake up and when you go to sleep. Does this make sense? Because think about it. When's the last time you prioritized anything this much? Anything? Probably never. But this is important. This is way important. This is incredibly important. There's nothing more important than this. Is your life. We don't want you to be sick all the time. We don't want you to suffer all the time. We don't want you to die because you were in pain for the last 25 years or whatever it was. Okay. So there's nothing more important than this. So you have to use this technique. You have to. Don't take any shortcuts. And it doesn't end there. Once you do this and you have them up there, you need to spend time, especially if this is the beginning for you, once a month, brainstorming again, looking at your goals. Well, how am I doing on this 1 year goal? How am I doing on this 5 year? Well, if it's a 1 year, you may have gotten some of those goals. You need to take one off. You need to add another one. Okay. You need to do this at least once a month. I'm not kidding. And that's not that much to ask for, just a couple minutes, and then print out another document. Okay. It's not going to cost you that much, but then reframe it. And you got it up there. You're always looking at it. You revise it. You changed it. You got it up there. The other thing is, if you find that during this process that you are obtaining all of your goals, then your goals are too damn easy. You've got to make them hard. You really are only going to get maybe half of the goals, maybe I say somewhere between 40 to 60% of your goals. Some of them you're just not going to be able to do. They're just too damn tough, but it gives you something to strive for. But if all of them are too tough, you're gonna be so like unmotivated to do anything. But this needs to be challenging for you. And again, I don't care what you write down. Just write down something. Just have something there and revise it on a regular basis. Have it straight in front of you so that you see it where you're at your workspace and at your sleeping space. Okay, this isn't rocket science, you see. This isn't really even that difficult. But this is the secret to obtaining your goals. Because I don't care what you write down, you'll find that if you use this process, you will actually somehow miraculously obtain these new habits, behaviors, whatever it is that you write down. I don't care what it is. I don't care how ridiculous it is. The thing is, when you constantly see it and you're like, oh, I wrote that down. Oh, and by the way, you need to sign the document. When you print it out, you sign it and date it. each time. You can keep a notebook if you want of all the revisions that you've made, but you need to sign it and date it as a commitment to you working on these things. This has to be part of your work. So you're going to actually give it more commitment, if you think about it, than you probably do on individual tasks that you do at your paid job. And that's important, because if you don't do that, you are never going to obtain most everything you think about. And don't make this mistake. Don't say, oh, well, I already know what my goals are. I don't need to write them down. I just have them in my head. No, you don't. You have no idea. If that's your method, you're just bouncing from one distraction to the next, and you are never going to get what you really want out of life. I'm here to tell you, it's very sobering, but that is the way life works. Okay, you'll find that the things that you actually do and are successful, that you intentionally have some kind of process and system that is reliable and consistent and actually produces the results that you're trying to get. And that's what I'm giving you. This video, this chapter of this V-book is basically the secret to the whole rest of the book. Because if you watch every other chapter in this book and you either don't watch this one, or you watch this one, but like, Mike's crazy, I can remember all this stuff, or I'm just going to put it in a note in my phone like Mike does. Well, don't do that. I did this whole process too, and I really made a lot of progress. And actually, if I really want to do better, I will go back to that same method. There is no shortcut I can give you that's going to get you to your goals quicker or with a higher percentage of attainment than what I just said. So let's go through it again very quickly. You're going to brainstorm 1 year, 5 year, 10-year lifetime, 5 to 10 in each category. You're going to print this out on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You're going to frame it with glass, with a rail frame and glass hanging on your wall in front of your workspace and where you go to sleep. And before you stick it in the frame, you're going to sign it and date it, and you're going to revise it every single month. Every single month. Put an alarm on your phone. Put a date on your calendar. Add it in every single first of the month, last of the month, 15th of the month. I don't care what it is, but you're going to do it every single month. And then at the end of the year, you are going to be amazed at how much you've accomplished. And if you're attaining your goals too fast, like I said, if you're getting more than 40 to 60% successful in the time frame, like your 1 year goals, if you got 80% of them done, you got to make your goals harder. If you're only getting 20% of them done, you got to ease up. You got to give yourself, you got to be a little more realistic about where you are. Not to say that you're not going to get there, because you will, but you have to put more middle steps in there as the actual goal. And that's it. So again, this is a secret to everything. If you use this method, please let me know. Say, I do. I do in the comments if you use this method. If you don't, you can say, I don't. If you guys, but if you don't, also tell me what you do use. I'm kind of curious to learn what you do use, because I don't know of anything that's better than this. And this is so simple. And like I said, most people will say, oh, this is, I can just do this. I don't need to write this. I have it all in my head. You know, I already know all this stuff. No, you don't. Everyone, like I said, everyone can improve, including me. I can get better at attaining my goals. I can attain more of my goals quicker if I just use this method. This is the secret. This is like the secret to life. This has no, I don't care what political affiliation you are. I don't care what you do eat, even though that's all we're going to talk about here is what to eat. I don't care what your habits are. I don't care where you were born. I don't care what you look like, your looks, your height, your weight. This has nothing to do with any of that. I don't care who you are. If you follow this process, I guarantee that there is nothing better. There's no better, quicker, easier way, more successful way of obtaining your goals than this. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next chapter. Bye.